Hello my friends at Gold Trade Master, my triple threat trading team. Omar here with your weekly outlook for the gold market. And of course we will start off by looking at this big weekly wedge, which is of utmost importance to us. It's funny because when you trade from day to day, some of the moves look kind of big, especially since we trade from the 1 hour. Sometimes they can really look substantial when we see it on the weekly, and when we see the actual big picture, we can see that, hey, it's actually not that crazy. I've been talking to you guys a lot about the summer trading markets and what we've been facing and how I want you guys to learn the system in the summer, so that when we get the better markets in the fall, it'll be good. And what I want to point out is I want you to just quickly, and I'll do some measurements here in a second, but I want you to look at the last few weeks of weekly candles, and I want you to compare it to the spring when we were in a very solid downtrend, and just compare the size of these weekly candles. Now, of course, as I said, I'm going to measure them for you, and let's just go ahead and take a look at kind of last week's candle is about 289 pips, yeah? Okay, we look at some of the bigger spring candles. Yeah, that's right. That's 1,100 pips in 1 week. Let's go ahead and grab another one and take a look at it. Oh yeah, 1,700 pips in 1 week. And just for fun, we'll look at another big one. Oh, that one's only 1,200. I mean, nothing to write home about, right? So you see, what we're looking forward to is that we understand the system, we're comfortable with the system, and we're not going to have any issues taking trades with the system, so that by the time the fall comes and we get maybe a breakout of this wedge and we start going after 1,200 pips in 1 week, I mean, even if we only grab part of that for 1 day with a few positions, I mean, we're talking about really big gains. So what our goal is here is that if we can navigate these really tough markets and not lose money, which other than the slippage issue last week, nobody really should have lost money. And we haven't had really any bad signals. Now, I want you to think about what triple threat is going to open up for you when we start getting really big moves, because those midterm fib levels that are really hard to stretch a day's worth of moves into these days, we're going to be clearing 2 and 3 of those in 1 day, and those are going to, once we break through those are going to provide extra entry points to really add to your trade and really make a big move a huge win. So I just like to talk about that, because that's definitely something to look forward to. We are now at the end of July. We're going to slog through August, I imagine, and then once we start getting into September, by about the 2nd or 3rd week of September, we'll be cooking with gas again, in my opinion. Of course, there's no way for me to predict how the market's going to react, but I have noticed historically that they do change from time to time. So let's go ahead and talk about the smaller time frames now. Go ahead and get this up, and we'll kind of get an idea of what's going on. We've looked at the weekly. You can see not a whole lot's going on there, so we'll go ahead and bumper down to the daily. And you can see that we touched, and this was, on our daily updates, and a few of you caught this exactly. I ended up getting a break-even trade out of this because I had to go to bed. But we talked about how 1287.27 would be a very difficult level to get through. And in fact, when we look here at the daily, what we're finding is that it was, a good place for a bottom, and then the next day was a bullish engulfing. We finished off the week with this big move up. So that was Thursday. The big green candle was Friday. This little red represents Saturday or Sunday, and now we're into Monday market. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these trend lines. I'll go ahead. We'll have a new manual chart before the market tomorrow, and based on today's movements, I'll go ahead and restructure that so that we have the best view of what to look for on Tuesday. As I've mentioned in the past, it's generally, I like to trade gold Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the best days for movement. Mondays can be hit or miss. Sometimes they produce good entries, sometimes they don't. So I really just want to kind of keep the focus on the really juicy days. This week we do have NFP, and that could be a problem, but since Fridays are generally days that we shouldn't be trading, we shouldn't have to worry about it. Of course, there can be moves on Wednesday and Thursday prior to NFP that can give us some pretty good movement. But as we go forward, we are going to be focusing once again on 1312, 02, 1313 area, which has been excellent area of support and resistance in the past, to the downside 1287.27. And we'll just have to see how the market shapes up other than that. So keep at it in the forum. You guys are doing a really good job. I really love the community that we're building there. And just make sure that you look for clean signals. Make sure the signals make sense, and focus on that trade management afterwards, getting your stop to break even at a reasonable place and not trying to get too much out of these summer markets. I think that's the most important thing, is that there are going to be tons of opportunities for you guys to, for me as well, to make great profits in the coming months. And remember, I mean, we have this license for at least a year. I'm working on some little bonuses for you founding members, which may extend that out further. So anyway, I wish everybody the very best in their trading, and of course, starting Tuesday we'll have the double market update, the London session with the video, and the New York session with a detailed written report where we will cover gold, oil, and indexes. And on that note, guys, happy trading, and let's go out there and let's make some profits, okay?